Hey everyone, welcome back to HFT4413 Hospitality Analytics and Revenue Management. It's almost done.
Yeah.
Semester is almost over.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's really scary. Dr. Hertz, how are you doing today?
I'm well. I'm fighting a head cold. I didn't tell you before the recording. So if I'm really honest, after this, I'm gonna take a nap because I need it.
So we're going on hospitality at sea, and part of going on hospitality at sea is we need to be boosted 5 months, and I got my booster yesterday, so I feel like a Mack truck ran me over.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you look well. It doesn't look like
I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning just feeling like crap. But you know, the students don't need to hear all this. The students want to learn what they want to learn and get on with their lives. So we're going to talk a little bit about machine learning, and I want to quickly show this video. So let's hop right into it.
Our ability to learn and get better at tasks through experience is part of being human. When we're born, we know almost nothing and can do almost nothing for ourselves. But soon, we're learning and becoming more capable every day. But did you know that computers can do the same? Machine learning brings together statistics and computer science to enable computers to learn how to do a given task without being programmed to do so. Just as your brain uses experience to improve at a task, so can computers. Say you need a computer that can tell the difference between a picture of a dog and a picture of a cat. You could begin by feeding it images and telling it, this one's a dog, that one's a cat. A computer programmed to learn will seek statistical patterns within the data that will enable it to recognise a cat or a dog in the future. It might figure out on its own that cats have shorter noses and that dogs come in a larger variety of sizes, and then represent that information numerically, organising it in space. But, crucially, it's the computer, not the programmer, that identifies those patterns and establishes the algorithm by which future data will be sorted. One example of a simple yet highly effective algorithm is to find the optimal line separating cats from dogs. When the computer sees a new picture, it checks which side of the line it falls on and then says either cat or dog. But of course there can be mistakes. The more data the computer receives, the more finely tuned its algorithm becomes, and the more accurate it can be in its predictions. Machine learning is already widely applied. It's the technology behind facial recognition, text and speech recognition, spam filters on your inbox, online shopping or viewing recommendations, credit card fraud detection, and so much more. At the University of Oxford, machine learning researchers are combining statistics and computer science to build algorithms that can solve more complex problems more efficiently, using less computing power. From medical diagnoses to social media, the potential of machine learning to transform our world is truly mind-blowing. To find out more about machine...
So that's machine learning in 2 minutes and 14 seconds. We've got a couple articles, and we want you to think a little bit more of that, especially when it comes to the LinkedIn Learning this week and our discussion or our pack back. But Oren, where are we seeing machine learning in the hospitality industry?
quite a bit in hotels, I think. Anything that has to do with let's see. Check-in, check-outs, check-in predictions, upgrades.
Yeah, so all of that, of course. So
right.
But it goes even further than that. We're going on hospitality at sea. It's a Holland America ship. I have been bombarded by not emails, but Facebook notifications and things like that from Holland America. But they're looking at, they know who I am. Again, they know that I am a married, no kids, whatever. So they are pointing certain things at me that I might be interested in.
Right.
And they know that you are a good Disney guy, and you're going to be direct sale certain things that are more Disney and maybe less cruise. And all of that's coming as machine learning. Because it goes even deeper. Oren and I are of a certain generation where we are still on Facebook, unlike our students who have all migrated off the Facebook platform and are on other things. But how often do you get the "you may know X"? And that is a way that it's looking at who we already know, who's in our contacts, the type of people we are, and how does that connect? How does it make these connections? And what's crazy is robots are running our lives.
Right.
But when I go and sign up on my Amazon account, I have to prove that I'm not a robot.
Yeah. So they want to make sure that a robot is not purchasing on your behalf.
Yeah, but how do they know? At the end of the day, the robots are becoming so smart. How can they not identify all of the stop signs on that picture, or the vans, or the bicycles, or the whatever I'm being asked to find?
Yes, I don't know. It's a solid question. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, and I don't know if we ever will. So this week's LinkedIn Learning is really cool. It's machine learning with logistic regression in Excel, R, and Power BI, which is business intelligence. Logistic regression. You are the doctor here in the room. You want to talk about some regression theory and regression analysis? Just brief, quick, what is it?
Yes, so it's a lot of learning from the past. So a lot of it, as we talked about already, is learned behavior, seeking patterns and identifying, coding the patterns. So going back to simplify it, going back to your example of cruising, the regression analysis would say that Professor Dodge takes 5 cruises a year and visits Disney 0 times a year. The regression analysis will go back and say, well, push more cruises, don't push Disney. And it's all based on historical data and behavioral patterns, if you will. And so what the machine or a researcher can do is look for those patterns, lump them together, code them, and then create an experience which in the near future is going to be even more robust for the customer, basically making in your case, giving you the suggestion for the best cruise, best destination, and somewhere perhaps you haven't been, to a point that you can't refuse it, because you look at it and you say, wow, this is something new, this is something exciting.
So when it comes to regression analysis, you're looking at different variables, usually 2 or more variables, of what are people looking for, what are people shopping for, what are people thinking, what are their political viewpoints. And I can look at this based on history. And I'm going to quickly put up what we see when we're looking at a regression analysis. And we're looking at this points on a chart, and we see some points down here, and we see some points up here, and then we see the line in the middle, and that's kind of what we are extrapolating from this. So we can say at this point, this many people buy X, or at this point, this many people buy Y. And there's always the outliers. Again, not a Disney guy, but last week I was at Disney Springs, what the hell is it called?
Yeah, Disney Springs.
Disney Springs.
Bless you.
And I'm not a Disney person. That was my first time ever at Disney Springs, my first time at Disney in years. So if you were to plot out my vacation habits of whatever it is over the last 5 years, that Disney would be an outlier. It would be something that is important of, oh, Dodge went to Disney, but we're also looking at, okay, so Dodge does a cruise, and then he did this, and then he did a cruise, and then he did something, and they did a cruise, and they cruised, and then he did a cruise. Like Dr. Hertz was saying, when you're looking at me, that's my trajectory. If you're looking at 46-year-old white guys in general, I'm an outlier when it comes to cruising.
Mhm.
I just go on a lot.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at the cruise industry in general, I might be that dot way out to the side of, we don't know why he cruises so much, but he does. But
Yeah.
this line right here, and let me go back to my line. So let's just say we're talking cruising and age. Those are our two numbers. So we will say that age is here and number of cruises per year is here. So down here is going to be maybe your 20-somethings, 30-somethings year old. They'll go on maybe one cruise a year, maybe one cruise every 5 years, because it might not be that important to them. Over here, this is the 80-year-olds. 80-year-olds are
Right.
going on the 6, 7, 8, 10 cruises a year.
Right.
And again, I'm going to be maybe in the 40 age, but I'll be up here as some weird outlier.
Yeah.
And is that outlier important?
Well, in the grand scheme of things, I would say probably not, but to cater to you and to maximize potential revenue from you, I wouldn't ignore that outlier.
No, and I wouldn't ignore it from me, but I would also ignore it when I'm out there and I am a cruise line salesperson. I'm not going to look at our demo as
Right.
someone who's going to spend lots of money and lots of days at sea. Our demo is, I'm going to just take that number and dump it away. For the grand scheme, for me, it's totally different, but for the grand scheme, and that's really where this regression analysis and machine learning comes in, because machine learning is looking at this and saying, is this important? Why is this important? And at the end of the day, how can we use this data to make more money?
I just thought of an example, Dodge, and it's something I think you'd appreciate because we both experienced it. So for our students that don't know, one of the more profitable revenue centers on a ship is the whole photography thing.
Yep.
And I'm remembering, I think it was our last cruise, that a really nice guy approached us and tried to sell us both, specifically you, photos. Now, here's the deal. With a really good regression analysis, you see how many cruises Dodge have taken, and you say, all right, well, the whole photo thing may work better for new cruisers, but I'm willing to argue that more experienced cruisers such as yourself, and partially myself, I don't cruise as much as you do, like, don't bother. I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. It's like.
And as far as regression analysis, the actual analysis, I didn't get anything in my stateroom of, hey, here's a special offer of getting pictures. This was a guy who just stopped me and tried to sell me. But
yeah, exactly.
I do get the special offers for other things that they know that I'm more willing to spend money on. They don't send me any offers for the casino.
Mhm.
They know that's a waste. They might send me more offers for, oh, we've got a special giveaway or special sale in the jewelry store, because generally I'll buy something. They might send me offers about special whiskey tasting or a rum tasting. And all of that is the computer somewhere saying, printing out a list and saying, all right, put in these staterooms a flyer on these things.
Yeah.
So in Dr. Hertz's case, there might be a flyer in there for, oh God, I don't know. I don't think they would have a flyer for relaxing by the pool, but maybe for a short excursion, whatever.
Or gym classes.
Or gym, absolutely. Yes, they will have special offers for gym classes, maybe spa services that they are going to directly send to Dr. Hertz.
Yes.
And for me, they weigh you before you get on the ship, and they looked at my weight and said, yeah, we don't need anything for workout for him.
Excuse me, it's all muscles, Professor.
Yes. But so for me, they're not even going to mention something like that, but they're going to mention other things. And all of that, the guys in the bottom of the ship that are printing this stuff out, they don't know, they don't care.
Right.
They're printing it out based on a report that they got, that a computer somewhere in Miami, I would assume, sent to them and said, these are the people that we think we can sell X to.
Yeah. And that's smart. That is some smart selling, because if you don't do that, let's take an example of a person who does not like me, I just don't drink a lot, but person who does not drink because of religious reasons. And then you're not doing everything you just shared. And then you give them flyers for 30% off on liquor. That's borderline offensive to them. They're like, we don't, why do you even buy? Why? Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, and it's what, religious reasons is one thing, but what if you have a problem? What if you are in recovery or whatever? Whatever reason you don't drink is your reason. And you're right. This could be something that, knocks them off the wagon. And we definitely don't want that either. Or casino or whatever that your vice may have been.
Sure.
We're going to not send, but they make more money off it. So maybe they tried to get you off the wagon. I don't know. All right. So LinkedIn Learning, we have a pack back, and I think those are the only 2 assignments this week.
Do we have a pack back this week, Dodge? Let's see.
I don't know. Do we? Is it a really simple week?
I think it is. Let me just take a quick look here. Or is it assignments? Just 1 minute, because I have the screen in front of me as we're recording, and we have pack back. Oh, let's see, 11. Just 1 minute.
I don't think we do.
No, I don't think we do.
I think next week we do. We're talking about causality, which is a lot of fun.
Yes, yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got nothing this week. We
LinkedIn.
know we have 2 Excel assignments that we've kind of pushed and pushed and pushed. We'll do that for next week or the week after. But yeah, that's all we got this week. Simple week.
Yeah.
Do your LinkedIn learnings. For my class, if you're missing anything, just try to catch up. For Dr. Hertz's class, he's not nearly as kind. But that's how life works.
Exactly.
All right, everyone. It's been a pleasure, and I am signing off.
All right. Have a great week, everyone.